In this tutorial, we'll be talking about selection, transformation, and various editing modes. Select something, just click on your left click mouse and you'll have already selected it. Select multiple, you can press A on your keyboard to select everything. Deselect everything, double tap A. You can use your mouse by dragging and drawing in a box. You'll have already selected everything. You can also click on the empty space to deselect everything. For example, you select one object and you want to select the other. Hold Shift and you can add to the selection of the others using the left click mouse and you'll have already selected all of them. Another example is when you're having two objects selected, you want to select this one. So to do the inverse, press Ctrl I and it will inverse the selection. To delete something, press X on your keyboard. To undo, press Ctrl Z. To redo, press Ctrl, Shift and Z. Move something, for example, you have to move an object from one place to another. Press G on your keyboard and you'll be moving it. Press S to scale an object. As you can see, we are scaling the cube. Press R to rotate something. To hide an object, you can simply press H on your keyboard. And there you go, the object is already hidden. To redo, or maybe to unhide the object, press Alt H and the keyboard comes back. You can do transformations, for example, in the y-axis, maybe in the x-axis or the z-axis. For example, I was doing a scale and I want to lock it in the x-axis, so I will press S, then X. As you can see, it is only scaling in the x-axis. You can also do that to the y-axis by just pressing Y. Same to the z-axis. Same applies to the rotation. Press R on your keyboard. Let's say you want to rotate it on the x-axis, press X. You can also press Y, maybe if you want to rotate it in the y-axis. Same applies to the z-axis. For example, if you want to scale something in only two directions, maybe in the x and y-axis and not in the z-axis, I will press S to scale, then hold Shift and press Z. So that way when I scale it up, it will be only scaling in the x and y-axis, not in the z-axis, as you can see here. Same applies to the rotation. There is this panel over here. You can use it to move your object. As you can see, it is bringing some gizmos. Let's say, for example, we go to the front view. You can be moving up this way, for example, sideways. Okay. There is this one for rotation. As you can see, it has all the axes. You can rotate it in the X, maybe Y, maybe Z. Then we have this one. This one is for scaling. As you can see, I'm scaling the object, maybe in the which direction you want. We have a side panel over here. If you press N on your keyboard, you will see this panel that comes here. As you can see, it has location, rotation, scale, and dimensions. For example, in the location, you can move the object in the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So you can rotate it in the x, y, z. Same applies to the scaling. Okay. You can select all of them at once by just drag and dropping all of them. Okay. And giving it a figure, for example, 5. So at 555, this is where the keyboard is supposed to be. Let's return our cube back to normal. To get rid of this panel, press N on your keyboard. Yeah, that is basically it for the selection, transformation, and editing of the keys.